In Total Money, buying a house has never been more expensive. Between high interest rates, sky-high prices, and a lack of homes, it's easy to see why many Americans, and that American dream, is becoming increasingly unattainable. But it's not impossible. So joining us now to discuss is John Paradise from Town & Country Federal Credit Union. John, this is a huge topic. We appreciate you coming in today. So what advice do you have for potential home buyers?
Well, I think it's easy to get down. I think it's easy to lose hope when you hear all of this, this perfect storm almost for home buying. So I think you can get your finances in order, and I think that's the most important thing. Get your finances situated. And by that, I mean, most importantly, get that debt to income ratio down. And you can do that. The easiest way to do that, Megan, is by paying your credit card down so you have access to more credit, but you're not using all of that credit. So that will raise your credit score and ultimately lead to a better interest rate.
It always seems like it comes down to paying that credit card, doesn't it?
It does. It has
Yes.
so much of an impact on all kinds of things, but most importantly, that interest rate that you're going to be paying.
Talk about some first-time home buyer assistance. What's out there for people?
There are a lot of different programs. There's, FHA, there's Main State Housing, there are other creative programs that individual lenders offer to first-time home buyers. For their veterans, the VA has a lot of different loans and different programs. Look into those, because usually if you don't think you necessarily qualify for something like that, there are creative programs out there, so it's worth that extra effort to do some research on your own and look into what's available.
And we talk about interest rates so often and the cost of borrowing money now. You hear advice on both sides. If you want to buy or need to buy a house, you can't really avoid it. You should do it anyway.
Right.
But if you're not in the situation where you have to go now,
you don't have to rush.
Right. Okay.
I think that's important. You don't have to, unless you have to, based on your situation, but you don't have to rush. I will say, if you are looking to buy a home, do it earlier in the year, because you can always refinance. I think that's what people forget about. You can always refinance the rate that you get if it's really the home and the situation, the area that you want to be in long term. Do it early in the year. But if you don't have to, you don't have to rush. And I think the other thing that's important, Megan, is when you think about all the costs of buying a home, look into the fine print. Look into closing costs. What are they really? The rate may be okay, but all things considered and all things being equal, look into those closing costs, because it can really add up, and it can really add to the whole overall payment of what you've got to put down.
yeah, you have to look at what's all in.
But don't lose hope.
Okay. Good advice. John Paradise from Town & Country Federal Credit Union. Thank you again for coming in.
Thank you.
A lot of people in this situation.
Always
trying
a pleasure.
Yeah, appreciate it.